let's say he gets it, right?
Okay.
The polls are right. The Iowans go for him. The New Hampshireites go for him. He's on a roll, and he gets the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like got so many delegates, he's unbeatable. You know, you can see it's his for the taking. And then he's actually thrown in jail. I had Mark Levin on the show last week. He's a brilliant, brilliant legal mind. And he was saying there is a very good chance Trump could be thrown in jail, especially by Judge Chutkan in D.C., who hates Trump. I mean, maybe that's strong, but she doesn't like Trump. You can tell that from her prior rulings.
I don't think Trump likes her either.
Trump he's not a fan. And this is D.C. that went, 92% for Joe Biden? You know, it's the jury pool is going to be a nightmare for him. And while the January 6th charges are not very strong compared to like the documents case down in Mar-a-Lago, where his jury pool is likely to be better for him, it may be enough of a heartstring pull for a D.C. jury that the prosecution, Jack Smith, gets it across the line and he wins. And he wins the case against Trump. So if that happens, she could put him in jail, even pending appeal. She could say, no, I will not stay your mandate to go to prison, federal prison, pending appeal. I don't have to do that. I'm not doing that. So he could be in jail. That's just one. I'm just picking one case of the four.
Right.
By the time we actually vote on November, 2024, do the Republicans have, and that trial is set to take place the day before Super Tuesday, March 4th. So do the Republicans at that point, when they're like, okay, I love him, but this is bullshit. Like I can't. We're going to lose if our candidate is serving a prison sentence. I know I love him. I know these guys love him, but I know those suburban soccer moms who screwed us over the last time. They're not going to love this. They were barely coming over our way to begin with because they didn't like the transing of the kids or whatever it is. But that they're not. So now what? Is there any option at that point?
Yeah, I mean, look, these parties are not governmental agencies. They are not governed by the law. They are private nonprofit entities that abide by their own rules. Let's do that hypothetical. Donald Trump is imprisoned and he is sent to jail pending sentencing prior to Election Day. Could the Republican National Committee take the nomination away from him? Yeah, they certainly could. They have extraordinary power. The members of that committee, who are, by the way, elected by Republicans across the country. They're chosen either, some of them directly elected on the primary ballot to be committee men and committee women, and some chosen in state conventions, but they're chosen. And they can convene and they have extraordinary power to change rules and blow stuff up to do that. The question is, would they have the political will to do it? Because if the Republican rank and file was sticking with Trump, you can't abandon our guy at the moment of his greatest need. He needs us now more than ever in his fight, and you cannot walk away from him. Who on that committee wants to be the one that said, yeah, I hear you, but we got to dump him. I know you voted for him, and I know that you want us to stand with him, but we're gonna have to dump him right now. Let me just say one thing as a level setting premise. The Republican Party is so divided that I don't know how they win a general election. I've never seen a party that hates itself as much as this party hates itself.
You're so
they
right.
are just at each other's throats. So in a scenario where Donald Trump gets the nomination, a quarter of the Republican Party is very soft in their support, right? They're very soft in their support. They're anti-MAGA. They hate him. They don't want that. Okay, flip it around. Nikki Haley, the apotheosis of Nikki Haley, and she pulls it off, right? She slingshots past Trump. She wins in Iowa, goes on, gets a win in her home state of South Carolina, and gets into the convention and barely wins. Are those MAGA voters going to say, it was a tough fight, but you won fair and square, and now I will come and support you and your globalist elite? No, they will say, I will burn in hell before I will vote for Nikki Haley. I'll be voting for RFK Jr., and you can go pound sand. So that's the fundamental. What you saw in the House is the fundamental problem that the Republican Party has. They hate each other. And when you hate the Democrats they're not excited about Joe Biden, but they don't hate Joe Biden. They're not angry at Joe Biden. They're depressed because he's so old and he seems so feeble. and they want somebody new and they want something different, but they'll vote for him.
That's the thing. So the more establishment Republicans, they will vote for Trump. I think they will vote for Trump if they have to. They might have to hold their noses to do it, but they would definitely rather vote for Trump than lose to a Democrat. Yeah. But core MAGA, you cannot say the same. It's Trump or bust, Trump or die.
Right.
And so the Republicans really have no choice here. If Trump wants it, if Trump is saying, I still am viable and want it, I'm not ready to pass the baton to DeSantis or anybody else, the Republicans have no choice if they want to win the general, but to make it Trump.
I'd put it slight. Well, here's what poll after poll after poll says about the state of the Republican Party. About 35% of the Republican Party is Trump, mega, massive MAGA, and about 25% is anti-Trump. And my friend, pollster Whit Ayers coined a term, which is really good here. He says you've got always Trump and never Trump, and then you've got always Republican. You have all of these voters who just want a Republican. They just want the Republican Party to win. They just want the Republican Party to succeed. Those are the people, the rank and file in the House, who were saying, maybe I'm not in love with Kevin McCarthy, but like, just stop this, like, just move on. And the way that
so rude.
A way that a person could win the Republican nomination would basically be get to the point where they have a majority of those always Republicans in a scenario, just as you described, where they say, hey, Trump did a bunch of good stuff, but he's a loose cannon and he's brought a lot of this on himself, and we can't drag this into a general election. Yeah, and he may be in prison. So it's just too much. So what you would see would be intensification among the core group, right? That 15 or 20% that have been with him from the beginning, and the wilder, the crazier, the better. They like it more because it's more evidence that he's fighting the system, and the harder they come after him, the more evidence that he is he's like the John Dillinger character. Like he's taking it, he is fighting the man. So those people would intensify in their support, but other people would start to peel off, and then the dynamic shifts. I don't know how the Republicans can beat Joe Biden, but I also don't know how Joe Biden can win, because he is so old, and everybody knows how old Joe Biden is.
All right, there's less than 10 days left for GenuCell's incredible dark spot package sale. Go to GenuCell.com/MK60, MK60 right now, and get their dark spot corrector, a must-have after months of record heat and humidity, with every one of their most popular packages. Sunspots, brown spots, discoloration, even those dry, inflamed patches, all disappear in front of your very eyes. Kimberly from Youngstown, Ohio writes in, quote, my appearance has improved so much since using GenuCell on my face. Love all my GenuCell products, and my skin looks years younger. Now it's your turn to feel and look like Kimberly, but there's only 10 days left to take advantage of the GenuCell most popular package, which now includes the dark spot corrector, plus the classic GenuCell bags and puffiness treatment, and its immediate effects product for all 70% off. Try it for yourself, completely risk-free. GenuCell.com/MK60 today to start looking years, even decades younger tomorrow. All orders upgraded to free shipping. See results day one, and you'll get compliments everywhere you go. GenuCell.com/MK60, GenuCell.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.